Hello and welcome, and thank you for joining. Today we're going to talk about Winter 23 release features, and this is where you can access for a pre-release org or request a pre-release org if you haven't already, and if you want to practice this real time. And I will also link you to release notes, and we'll look at how to actually read through the release. So this video will cover the most top features that at least I'm excited about, and feel free to look for more features in the release notes itself. So let's get started. The first feature that I want to talk about is the enhancements around the flow builder itself. So as you can right now see, we can now activate the flow directly from the flow builder, and you don't need to go to a different list and activate it from there. So I'm really definitely like that. And then when you actually click on the screen test, now you have component visibility, and this is going to save a lot of time, because anytime you have your users who want to see like maybe 3 fields for one set of users and the 4 fields for different set of users, even though they are in different profiles, there was no way or no good way to actually do that in screen element. And the workaround was to create a decision element and then have the decision on profile and parse it to one screen or the other. So you'd end up with multiple screens for different set of users. But now you can create all the different fields on the same screen and then control the visibility based on this. So the way it works is you can make it always visible, or I want to say conditions are met, and then I'm just going to add new conditions. I already have some variables, I believe, and you can actually create new variables. So the only caveat is that you cannot create a new variable directly from here. So you'd have to have a new variable already created and then just populate them here. Just for the sake of this video, I'm just going to say hello text equals hello text something, and it could be anything based on your condition. So more than likely you would have to create a formula variable which will be profile name equals something, and this is where you'll test that out. So component visibility, very excited to use this feature. Another feature is, while we're here, actually lookup. So now you don't need to install a managed package to use a lookup, so that's available out of the box. And basically what it does is you'd have to populate the exact field API name. So let's say if you're on a contact and if you want to fire a flow from a contact and you want to have account lookup, before the way to do that was either install a package or have that all the accounts be like a pick list options, which is not really good if you have a lot of accounts. So account ID is the API name, then the label you can give whatever you want, and the contact is the object name. So this should be hard coded here, and be sure your API names are correct for this to work. And this is where the flow will actually store the answer, or where it will assign the ID in case if you want to do other manipulation with that ID. And obviously you can have the component visibility. So also now when you create a variable using this button right here, it will actually, when you create the variable, it will bring you right back there, so you don't have to go and look for the variable. So that is also saves a few seconds of time. So let me show you how that actually looks. So it's clicking debug, and just to show you the lookup filter, it just looks like your standard lookup value, lookup field. So I'm just going to hit run, and see, this is the lookup variable. And since I just said hello equal to hello, which is obviously true, so we have that screen here. So that's one of the features. And there are other enhancements around the process builder. You can now use account team members or update account team members from process builder, which was not possible. You can also run a process builder on account team members. Okay, another feature is on the AutoLaunch Flow. So let's say you have a flow based on some rules, like you are querying on all the different approved records that are in approval stage, and you want to send a quick friendly reminder to all the approvers that are supposed to approve the different records that are in approval stage. You can do that by using a flow. You don't need to write a bad job to do that. So when you're on the start here, you have now option called schedule, and you can set date and time, frequency. There are some limitations around how many of those you can set up per day. and you can get into more details from the release notes. But and then you can say only these objects I want to run this batch on, or this is optional, so you don't really need to do that. And then after you're done setting that up, then you continue with your flow as you would, and include all your business decision rules there. But this is a quick way to actually schedule an Apex as well. So if you don't want to write an Apex, you can do that using the flow here. Okay, let's switch gears here and go to the app builder enhancements. So there are some enhancements, some really good ones around app builder as well. So let's look at a few of them. So I am here on the app builder on the home page. So I'm going to go back to the account page. So on a record page, you now have access to set visibility based on form factor. Form factor means desktop or mobile. And so let's say if you have your users who don't need to see all the related lists in mobile, so you can do that by setting component visibility again here. So add filter, and now you can say device and form factor equals desktop. So maybe so this will only be visible for desktop users and not mobile users. That's one of the features around form factor. Another one is you can make the whole page either visible or not visible for mobile and desktop. So let's say you have account pages which has tons of information and tons of fields on it. You don't really want your mobile users seeing all that at once. So you can have two versions of account pages and give them form factors. So if I go to activation and try to activate it, since it's already active, I'm going to remove it. And here you can set up desktop or phone and both. So depending on your use case, you could either create two different versions, or you can set component visibility within the same page version. And there are, a side note, there are tons of other enhancements around mobile, mostly making the mobile look and feel to look like Lightning desktop version. So definitely check that out in release notes. And there is a permission set that is needed for your Salesforce app users to be able to see that. The permission set details as well as how to set that up is in release notes, and I believe it's coming in September or early October. So definitely check that out if you have a lot of mobile users. And another enhancements with the app builder is also around the home page. So let's confirm that. And on home page now you have a new template available. So for the longest time I've been creating home pages and creating my own kind of template, custom template to do so. But now you have this available, and this is the highly requested, at least from my experience, this is a highly requested template which was not available until now. So now you have that feature, as well as you now also have accordion and tab feature. So you can add accordion on home page. And this was always available for record pages and app pages. For some reason it was not available for home page, and for one of my clients I had to actually create a custom component just so that they have this tab visibility. So it's really great to have this feature out of the box available on home page. And of course same kind of component visibility and everything else that comes with the filter. And the home pages are not form factor enabled, only the record and app pages are. So okay, we talked about the app builder enhancements, and let's talk about some file related enhancements, I should say. So let's go back. We are already on file. So here now you can actually share your file with customers. So there is a customer enabled feature, disable and enable. I haven't tried it out in a community and how this looks, but from the release notes it is supposed to make this available to a community user if you have this enabled, and I'm looking forward to trying out this feature as well. And another feature is now you can make sure if you have lots of files cluttering on users records or account or any records, you can actually remove that file from record, and this will only delete it from the record, but the files will not be deleted itself. So this is I think it's a good feature if you want to clean up your user's page and still have that file somewhere in the system. So you can use this button right here. Okay, let's move on to community related enhancements. So I've been using communities a lot for my recent projects, and there are some features that are very interesting. So now you can actually create a new page with a very flexible layout. So what I mean by that is, when you create a new page, you can either create object or standard, and this is all not new. But when you click on standard page, you can now select a flexible layout. And what that means for you is, you can make your community pages a lot more match the look and feel of your already existing website maybe, and you can define on how many layouts you want. You could have 3, 4, 2, 4, 6, etc. And you can also set up the background images and make it really your personal branding here. So I just found this winter 20 image and I populated it as a background, and obviously everything else remains the same. You can add the components and change the color, and the layout can be changed as well. So, and there are tons of other enhancements around navigation menu. Tile menu is now GA, and mostly around UI functionalities. And feel free to try it out. Also, this kind of page is only available for a standard page and not for object pages. So if you have record pages, they will still follow kind of the same pattern that we already have. So there's no set enhancements around that. There is one new feature that's around sharing settings. So here you can actually use sharing rules to grant record access to guest users. So for that, you'll have to go to sharing settings, and enable secure guest user record access. Then you can, when you are creating a sharing rule based on criteria record owner, and there would be another third option, guest user access based on criteria. So you can select which maybe you want certain records only to be accessible by guest users, which is what you can do here, and then everything else, the similar sharing rules. I believe it's being available in early September, so maybe that's why I don't have access to it in my org. But definitely a lot of other enhancements around guest users, security, as well as user records itself as well. So feel free to check that out. And just a quick way on how you can look at all release notes without being overwhelmed is, you just go to what you are mostly interested in. For me, I usually go to customization and look at all the customization enhancements that I've been waiting for, and maybe I look at development and what are the different enhancements there, and maybe sales and service. So you don't really need to look at everything. If just look at your personal domain that you are mostly interested in, and just look around, and maybe you will find something that probably there's a better way to do that, instead of using what you have been using until now. So always definitely encourage you to be updated with the release notes with features that you're mostly interested in. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful, and please let me know in the comments what are your favorite features and if I missed anything. Thank you.